Okay, great, nearly done. Just one more page after this, and I just want to run you through. This page is the same as all the others, and I'll just do this briefly, but you can click on these icons and you can go to a video about the different services I offer there, and none of these fields on this page are actually required fields. So if it's all a bit too hard for you, that's no problem. Just click the button down the bottom and go to the next page, and then you'll have an opportunity to upload a house plan if you've got it, or photos of any difficult areas, and I'll figure all of this out. But the point is that there's some time involved in me doing all of this, and for customers, and we don't win every quote that we do, obviously. And so if you fill in these details, it'll make our quoting process faster and smoother, more accurate, and I'll give you a $50 bonus off the price of your quote if you can help us out by putting these details in. Anyway, let's just click on this top link here, and that'll go to Google Maps, Google Earth, because Google Earth will let you measure the house in both an iPad or a normal desktop, whereas Google Maps is good if you want to save it. If you've got a Gmail address, you can actually measure it and save the image for me and give that to me, so then I've got the same image and I can actually re-edit it if needed. Right now, so when you come to Google Earth, when you first get here, you're going to need to put in this search option. So let's just go to the search option the way that it does it, and this is where you start. Now that view there, I find that quite hard to work with. If you just come and press this X here to close that window down, it'll bring us to a top-down view of it. And if you click this one here for 3D, right? Oh, sorry, it's already done. So because we want it in 2D, so then when I measure this house, it's most accurate in 2D, and it's just easier if it's looking straight down on the roof. Now, so we zoom right in until the house fills the image as much as possible. And firstly, you'll notice there's two premises here on this address, and this is part of the reason why it's helpful if the customers supply it, because if they measure it, maybe they only want the granny flat or the garage at the back done, or maybe this block's being cut in half and there's actually a house at the back now, and the address is 42 Samson Vale Road, but you actually want 42A, and Google will oftentimes bring me to the front house and not the back house. So this really does help me to identify exactly what's going on. Now, to measure it, it's simple. Just click on the measuring tool over here, and you measure the house just with a click. So one click there in the corner there, one click there in the corner there, one click there in the corner there, one click 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 there, and then now it's actually done a double click there at the end. So I'll just drag that point over, and if you get any of the points wrong, you can just hold them down and drag them. So that's how you do that. And this gives you the measurement over here. So 223 square meters, and the perimeter is 67 square meters. That's the information I need. So let's go back to my form. 223 square meters, and let's scroll down here to the perimeter length for the house, 67 linear meters, right? And that just helps me work out how much eaves to take off. So now I know the eaves are 0.6 wide, so now I can work out how to take the eaves off. And from the internal photos, I'll take off decks and things like that, but you can obviously measure those off the map for me if you want to. Now, it's always helpful if you capture that image for me and upload it. So if you're on a Mac, you press Shift Command 4, and then you can capture that image like that. And then I've got, actually before you capture it, just click on that bar there. Then I've actually got the address as well as the picture of the house. So then every image has got the address on it, and it just means that they don't get mixed up if we've got multiple images we're trying to deal with. So that just saves that image. Now maybe you want to get this back section done as well, and this is a flat roof, so this is a harder roof. If you click the measuring tool, click here to measure the house again. Oh, hang on, sorry, I've got to click the measuring tool twice. Once to click off the old one and once to click the new one. Let's go around anti-clockwise, click, 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 and double click. Alright, so that's my area for the back, 118 square metres with a 44 metre perimeter. So let's go to the form again. That's a difficult area, that one, 118, it's a flat roof, and I know that from my real estate photos. If you've got a floor area, put your floor area in here, but just remember to upload a photo of the floor or what you want done, so then I know what the access looks like and those things. You can upload several photos. And down here, I've already done it, but you choose the file there, and that's my 2 screenshots there that I've uploaded already. Now, if on your Google Earth map, it won't bring up these if you save the URL for me, right? But it will bring up the zoomed in version of this map. If you are on Google My Maps, you can actually save the map, so then you can draw this square and draw this square, and it'll save the map, and I can see both of those squares and get the measurements exactly as you measured them, right? But so if you're on My Maps, just copy the URL over for me. Now, the only other thing I need from my customers, or that's helpful to me, is if you go into Google and you type in the address. Actually, that's Google Maps. But if you go into, just type the address in. And that'll bring up all of the listings for that address, but what I'm interested in is the actual URL. So for the Google domain photos or the real estate photos, because that'll show me around inside the home. And like I said, if it's a battle axe or something, maybe I don't have the right photos, maybe this house has been bulldozed or something, and so it helps if there's 2 lots of photos here that you can tell me what's going on. But from these photos I can see there's no downlights in the room, no ducted aircon. This here I can see tongue and groove ceiling, but that ceiling there is actually a fake facade because the roof's a tile roof and it's got a cavity, so I know that. And like there's no exhaust fans in the kitchen, or there might be one in the bathroom. I don't know that. But there's an opportunity on the next page for you to put in the exhaust fans and that. Now I can tell there's some whirlybirds on the roof. I can zoom in and tell how wide those eaves are. I can tell that this back one doesn't have any eaves on it, which is important. So let's go back to my form, and so the eave measurement will stay the same because the back one doesn't have any eaves, and the difficult roof area was 118 square metres. So that's in there now. So that's all the information. That's where we get it from. Importantly, with this information, if you measure your house at 223, we both know that we're working on the same measurement, and that we're actually going to have the right amount of stock on the day for your job. Oftentimes, customers will go to a company, and the company will tell them that their house is 280 square metres or 300 square metres, and that way if they ring around or they call Bunnings to price the bats, they'll find out that they'll be pricing for a much bigger house than what they actually have. Or the reverse happens, the company will give them a measurement that's 200 square metres when it's actually 223, so then that way if you go with a different company because you ring them and tell them the measurement, the other company will give you a cheaper price, but they'll also turn up and do dodgy work because they'll turn up, not bring enough stock. They'll either have to then tell you that they need to increase the price when they get there on the day, and nobody likes that, or they'll skip bits and try and stretch the product out. With bats, they often delaminate them, and with cellulose, they often just don't pump in as much. So if you own this measurement, it's your peace of mind that you've given us the right measurement, and that we've given that right measurement to the contractor, or rather the installer in our case. So now just click on the bottom there, and we go to the last page, and then we'll get your quote underway for you. Thank you very much. I hope that helps somebody. Put some comments, and like, comment, subscribe, and my video recording skills might get better.